All right, I'm going to kick on over to my camera and we can talk about pre-sketches and what we're doing. So for your pre-sketch, I was supposed to give you a grade, and if you sent it, I did. And then I usually sent you guys back a little info like looks good, whatever, you did all right. The reason I have you send your pre-sketches is because a lot of pre-sketches when we start this project kind of look like this. All right. They have objects that are very far apart. They don't overlap. Um, it's almost more like they're making a shopping list and trying to make something interesting to look at. And the rule of thumb is if you can drive your pencil, assuming it was a car, from one side of your image to the other without running into something, your objects are too small. So the idea is to make them bigger like we did in this one. All right. So your finished one, your objects, anything you want to change, you can change. Like I don't want to draw this whole base. All right. I just did a focus in on the best base neck and the headstock. All right. I don't want to do the whole pumpkin. I can do part of the pumpkin. These things can overlap. My sushi roll goes from being standard size or micro sushi to being like jumbo sushi. And that's good because I like sushi. Didn't have to do all the sword, only had to do part of the crayon. You get the idea. These things get big. The other problem that people have is when they start doing the border, they're paying attention at first, and then they realize they hate the alphabet. And they start losing focus, and their letters get smaller and smaller and smaller, and to the point where they're no longer block letters. So what you need to do on your good one is fix that. If a letter isn't touching all four sides, or if your pencil doesn't have an eraser, evil spawn of hell, you make your letters bigger. All right, you make them touch the edge of the paper, top of the paper, or the top of the border, the bottom of the border, all four sides. That's what we're looking for. I don't know why out of all the letters, the S is the hardest. At least it is for me. All right, so you want that kind of thick border all the way around it. So when you finally got it like this, you're going to do your shading. Now, when I started doing my shading, and I was doing the border, I was making it so my light source was coming from here, 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 and here. For the border only, though. And the reason I did that is I wanted these edges to be dark, and I wanted to fade them over to the lighter areas. All right. So I don't think I put a hard edge shadow on any of these things. I think I did all gradual shadows as I worked my way around these papers. All right. And then when I got here, my light source changed. So this edge toward the middle got the gradual shadows. All right. And then I worked my way all the way around it until I had something that was sort of like this. Now, in the case of this, once I've addressed the outside, I can address the inside. The problem with this is you have to pick a direction instead of four directions, one direction for your light source. So if you notice this little tiny arrow in the middle, I pop that in there. I start doing gradual shadows on these objects because I really don't have something with a hard edge shadow. And I could do a casted shadow, I suppose, off of these tuning pegs. And do that. And then this side of this gets lighter. Maybe I got some shadows within that. All right. And I'm doing this to make this pop out. Now, if you're at home, totally you can use pencil to finish this up. Do all your shadows and accordions to where you want your light coming from. But you guys, some of you have the wonderful luxury of being at school. And if you haven't started shading your good one yet, I would go look for the colored pencils, because there is massive boxes of beautiful, heck, I will even say it, sexy Prismacolor pencils that blend and are creamy and can do all kinds of amazing things. Usually they're out in the middle of the room. They might be back in those two cabinets that you guys just looked into. If worse comes to worse, I'm sure there's a box of Prismacolors back in that storage room. So what I would do if I got colors, I would either pick warm colors for my border, make them all red, yellow, orange, or I'd pick cool colors for my border, purple, green, blue, and I'd blend those together any way that I want to blend them. And then I would use my regular colors for the inside. All right. All right. So grab your stuff, get busy. Like I said, once your drawing's done, you can knock it with colored pencil. If you need to take a few colored pencils home with you to finish up at home, have at it. All right, cool. Any questions? I know I talk a lot. Okay. I'm gonna share my screen.